quickly through the countdown procedure. 5-second board goes up then. So Pip Hammond in the red and white Nova, the two-tone green AX of Andrew Thorpe alongside him. Red lights go on and out. So away they go. And it's Thorpe that makes a slightly better start, doesn't he, as they head up towards Rich's Corner for the first time. Can he get ahead of Pip Hammond, though, who has the inside line, of course? Martin Rogers there in third place, and Lee Scott's got a good start as well. Lee Scott's going to go second. He's going to get ahead of Andrew Thorpe, but he runs out quite wide at Rich's Corner. It's Hammond leading then. It looks like Scott in second place, Andrew Thorpe in third, and Martin Rogers in fourth position. Side by side for the lead into the Wilson hairpin. It's Hammond on the inside line, Scott on the outside line as they turn into Chapman. And the top four all go through. There's Martin Rogers in fourth place, number 39. Fifth place is about to be young Ryan Morgan, Pete Morgan's son, making one of his first appearances. He had a very good first race when he came through to take fourth position. Let's see if we can improve even on that here with a few more racing laps. But it's side by side for the lead of the race, Josh.
Yeah, Lee Scott, he did this in the earlier race, tried to go around the outside at Brundle. He's not managed it this time. So Pip Hammond leads. It's the three experienced, quick guys at the front, Hammond, Scott and Thorpe. But now Ryan Morgan is with them in fourth place. What can he do? He set similar lap times to those three in the earlier race. So we'll see if he can give a battle to them. Martin Kaiser, he's been languishing a bit further back than we've seen from him in the past. He's got Stuart Place, who's made it round the first half a lap this time. Pip Hammond then and Lee Scott just getting away from Andrew Thorpe slightly for the moment. Actually, Pip Hammond in the second half of the lap extending his lead over Lee Scott.
So out of Murray's they come, as Derek Rosier towards the back and up towards the Sterner Straight to complete lap number one. There is Pip Hammond leading there, number 71, close to the pit wall. Lee Scott second, third Andrew Thorpe, Ryan Morgan up to fourth position then as they go over the line. Fifth Martin Rogers, sixth is Jason Wood, seventh is Chris Deere. Eighth, I think, was that Andrew Tibbs as well?
It was. Ahead of Jason Hasselhurst and Martin Kaiser completing the top 10. Here are the leaders. Lee Scott getting closer again to Pip Hammond as they break. He gets good rotation through the corner, does Lee Scott. Got the XR2i turning through there well, so he's back on the tail of Pip Hammond. But Hammond has a nice exit there to the corner. And Andrew Thorpe getting closer to Lee Scott again. And then there's Novice Cross in the back of the XR2 of Ryan Morgan. So we've got that again, like we had in the earlier race, 5 different types of car in the top 5. Nova, XR2i, AX, XR2 and 205. And the AX of Andrew Thorpe challenging Lee Scott there around the outside. But Scott brakes late and holds on to P2.
Yeah, the X, a strong car around Snetterton. Andrew Thorpe's won here in the past, but Pip Hammond and Lee Scott, really the top drivers in classic stock catch over the past decade or so. And you add Matt Rosier into that as well, who's not here this weekend. Down towards Coram they go then, and it's Hammond and Scott leading the way. Up over the curve there goes Hammond in the number 71 car. Be interested to see what Ryan Morgan could do here. He's gone with the first three, hasn't he? He's pulled away from Martin Rogers now, so you wouldn't write off him being involved in the top 3 here. Over the line they go. Top 4 have gone through, covered by just a little bit over a second, I think. There's Lee Scott turning his way through in second place through Rich's Corner. Morgan in fourth. At the moment, though, no real challenge coming on to Pip Hammond. They're all sort of following each other through the Wilson hairpin, through Chapman now and on to the start and finish, sorry, not start and finish straight, the Bentley Straight, I should say. Bypassing the 100 circuit onto the Bentley Straight here. Hammond has Scott in his slipstream then.
Absolutely, and Andrew Thorpe, but they almost free together there for the lead. Lee Scott overlapping. He's got his nose ahead of Pip Hammond this time. He's on the inside line for Nelson, and that should give him the lead, but he bounces out over the curb, so Hammond comes up the inside. It's exactly a replay of what we saw in the earlier race when we saw that move. So back through goes Hammond on the inside, but can Scott hang it out on the outside? He'll got 4 for the lead because Ryan Morgan's there too. Lee's got round the outside at Coram Curve. This will be a brave move. This is a really difficult corner, particularly in these front-wheel drive cars. They run side by side all the way through. Can Lee Scott hold on to the inside line for Murray's? He cannot, but great race in there, Ian, once again.
Chris Kirby would have got through, but it's Pip Hammond leading, Lee Scott second. And a bit of a gap back now to third and fourth, so I think possibly Thorpe and Morgan have fallen over one on each other, and they're going to get side by side as well. So it's Hammond from Scott, and then, yeah, it's level pegging over the line that time for third position. So can Ryan Morgan move up into a podium position for the first time, I wonder, as they go into Richards? I think the answer for the moment is no, because the AX of Thorpe is still ahead. Meanwhile, it's side by side through Rich's corner, and it's side by side up towards Wilson on the inside line for the right-hand hairpin. It's Pip Hammond on the outside line. It's Lee Morgan, and they follow one another through more or less, and Scott is not letting Pip go. They will be absolutely loving this. Almost a little love tap from Lee Scott on the back of Pip Hammond's car there as they make their way down the Bentley Straight. This is fantastic stuff.
It says tag 'em on the back of Pip Hammond's car, and I think that's what Lee Scott just did as they make their way now down the Bentley Straight. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4 cars across the circuit. They're not all quite overlapping though. It's Lee Scott around the outside of Pip Hammond, all 4 of them taking a different run up to the Brundle and Nelson S's. They all are in the same order though. Hammond, Scott, Thorpe and Morgan. It's great to see a newcomer there. Ryan Morgan joined in the established elite at the front of this field. Pretty much a whole lap we saw Hammond and Scott side by side. Now they've had a few corners where they haven't been overlapping. Where can Lee Scott find a way through? Great driving up front from these 4 drivers who are way ahead of the rest now, Ian.
Certainly are. Oh, and a bit of a mistake there from Pip Hammond, I thought, as he negotiated his way through Murray's. I don't think he's lost too much time because of that, though, but we'll see how things pan out by the time they get to Richards, I suppose. So these 4 have pulled away from the rest. It's still Martin Rogers, number 39, in 5th place, and 28, Andrew Tibbs, in 6th position. But the top 4 go over the line then almost as one. Scott moving to the outside into Richards, and for someone who almost indicated that he's lost the desire for competition in that interview he gave to Anthony Jordan earlier, he's going for the lead here, side by side again, up towards the Wilson hairpin. He's got his nose in front this time, but surely he can't go all the way around the outside. He's still halfway alongside, and as they go through the left-hand foot Chapman, they're still overlapping, and they're going to be side by side as they go onto the Bentley Straight, and Andrew Thorpe, as a result of this, has closed right in on them as well, and so too has number 53, Ryan Morgan.
Well, we had 4 cars across the circuit taking different lines last time. Can we have all 4 cars side by side this time, heading down towards the Brundle corner? Ryan Morgan trying to squeeze between the 2 leaders. On the far outside line is Andrew Thorpe. He's going to lose out, I reckon, but Lee Scott's got the lead, has he? It's Hammond who's got the inside line. Scott's run out. He's all 4 wheels across the grass. Ryan Morgan's trying to cut the inside of both of them. No, he's had to back out of that. Lee Scott has got the lead, though. He held on this time. He's ahead of Pip Hammond for the first time today.
And Ryan Morgan is up to 3rd place then as a result of all of that, with Andrew Thorpe down to 4th position. Chris Deere, I'm afraid, has had a 2nd retirement today. He has pulled off, I think it was an electrical issue in race number 1, and that's a great shame for him. So, number 1 leading, Lee Scott. Number 71, Pip Hammond in 2nd place, but a better exit out of Murray's that time for Ryan Morgan in 3rd place. So will he try and get alongside the twice Class B Stock Cats champion, Pip Hammond, as they make their way along the centre straight? Well, the answer is yes, he's absolutely alongside Pip Hammond. Can he go through? Be on the outside line for Rich's corner. We're into the second half of the race now. It's one of those where you want the checkered flag to be hidden, isn't it? Because it's such a good race. But for the moment, Hammond has held on to P2.
Yeah, he's dropped a little bit away from Lee Scott. Let's see if he can come back towards him. Lee Scott's getting away, isn't he? And then it's Ryan Morgan, who I think you'd agree with me in, been a star driver today. Absolutely, 2 great drives from him in the XR2. No, he's a success ballast, holding Pip Hammond back a bit in this race, I wonder. He didn't really actually have the quickest pace in the first race either, did he? No. But he managed to hold everyone back. But now Lee Scott's got past. He's getting away. Here comes Morgan then on the outside in the XR2. Can he get past the Nova? Thorpe's looking to the inside, but the XR2 goes right round the outside into Brundle. Ryan Morgan is up into P2, and he's going after Lee Scott now.
Yeah, absolutely right. And we're going to have probably, I would think, 4 laps to go at the end of this one. The fastest man in the earlier race was Andrew Thorpe, in actual fact. The best lap of this race has been done by Andrew Thorpe as well, a 1:31.57, which is not quite as quick.
Meanwhile, Pip Hammond's fighting back in on the inside of Coram Curve. He's not letting Ryan Morgan get away with it lightly. The 2 quads almost brushing door mirrors as they turn into Murray's. Absolutely brilliant stuff. But Morgan holds on.
He certainly does. I think Pip having a bit of a wave there as well. So Morgan up to 2nd place, as off the circuit has gone number 12, which is James Hazelhurst. I think he's going to park by the looks of it. I think he must have a problem. So here's Lee Scott in the lead. 2nd place now, Ryan Morgan. What price Ryan Morgan winning this race? You wouldn't write it off, because Thorpe now is challenging Pip Hammond for 3rd place as well. Scott leading by just under a 2nd. Someone's exhauster's fallen off. Sounds familiar.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's James Hasselhurst, I would imagine, because that's near where he's parked. Now Morgan, is he able to get away from Hammond? He wants to get away from the attack and go after Lee Scott. It's only a second away, so it's absolutely still on, as you suggested it might be. Behind them, by the way, Martin Rogers is 5th, Andy Tibbs is 6th, then Jason Wood, Martin Kayser, Stuart Place and Paul Brook into the top 10. So here come the leaders, this time Ian down the Bentley Straight. Andrew Falk trying to attack Pip Hammond.
Yeah, and he's done it. He's through into 3rd place, isn't he? So it's number 1, Lee Scott leading. 53, Ryan Morgan in 2nd place. I think Ryan has closed the gap a little bit on this, the 7th lap of the race. Just trying to work out what lap 1. Yeah, lap 7 of the race.
So everyone avoids that exhaust. It sits right in the middle of the road.
Martin Rogers and Andrew Tibbs not too far apart now. I think Tibbs has gradually closed in on Martin Rogers. Tibbs, former Sax Max and Stock Hatch and Clio racer, switching to Classic Stock Hatch for the first time in a car from the early 1990s. There they are, disputing 5th and 6th positions.
Oh, he's lost it as Tibbs. He gets a big slide on. He avoids the curve, crucially, and he continues, but he's going to fall away from Martin Rogers.
Yeah, he'll have no momentum along the start finish straight. Someone's getting the driving standards flag now. I suspect that might be a track limits issue for someone. We can't see the number on the board, unfortunately. So, with 3 laps to go, I reckon, it's Lee Scott leading by about 9/10 of a second from number 53, Ryan Morgan. Number 3, Andrew Thorpe in 3rd place. 71, Pip Hammond in 4th. 39, Martin Rogers in 5th. 28, Andrew Tibbs in 6th position. 7th is 41, Jason Wood. 8th, 88, Martin Kayser. 9th is 87, Stuart Place. And 10th is number 26, Paul Brock. Pip Hammond, then, not even going to finish on the podium as things stand.
No, indeed. Whether success balance is playing a factor here or hasn't just quite got the pace of those other cars around him. Andrew Falk still with that fastest lap of the race. He's chasing Ryan Morgan, who in turn is chasing Lee Scott. Is he getting closer to him? Hard to tell. Andrew Tibbs has got back on terms with Martin Rogers pretty rapidly, and he's looking up the inside of Rogers. He was 2 seconds behind at the beginning of the lap, so a good lap possibly there from Tibbs, or maybe an issue for Rogers a bit at the beginning of the lap, but Tibbs pushing on, going after the Peugeot just in front of him.
Yep, so we've got, 2 laps to go at the end of this one then. A good scrap here for 5th position. I wonder how it's going to pan out for the lead. Well, the 4 cars not separated by very much still, are they? Just a little bit of daylight between Lee Scott and Ryan Morgan. We're going to get 2 more laps then at the end of this one. And Andrew Thorpe and Pip Hammond there in 3rd and 4th as well. So possibly a little bit of powder being kept dry here.
Looks like that warning's going out to one of the leaders.
It does, doesn't it?
We saw, of course, Lee Scott have a few grassy moments, didn't he, when he attacked Pip Hammond. So possibly for him. Here comes Thorpe. He's done a good lap there, 1:31.05. That's almost a second quicker than the 2 leaders. And he's looking to the outside of Ryan Morgan here. But he may come under threat from Pip Hammond using that wide line. Hammond gets a small overlap, not enough to challenge. So Thorpe's certainly the quickest car this weekend. But he was 3rd in race 1 and he's currently 3rd again.
Yeah, so he's reduced his own lap record, I think, as a result of that. So Scott leading Morgan, leading Thorpe, leading Hammond.
Looks like we've lost Stuart Place again. He was a retirement earlier.
Yeah, that's a shame. And Morgan a bit closer this time to Lee Scott than he was on the previous lap, I think. So with a lap and a bit to go, could we see a thrilling challenge from the newcomer here? It's a car that's won races, of course, in the past in the hands of Ryan's father, Pete Morgan. But good to see some young blood taking the car over and acquitting himself very well indeed in exalted company.
We have 1 lap to go at the end of this, aren't we? So, is he close enough to challenge going on to the last lap? He's not far away, is he? Has he got a good exit here tomorrow? I think he might have done. So this has been a good lap from Morgan, chasing the leader, Lee Scott. Here they come up across the line, the 4 of them. Yeah, certainly the closest 2, I think, are the one that is the gap, first 2 second. Where can Ryan Morgan have a go in?
Well, not into riches by the looks of it. He was 3/10 of a second behind at the start of the lap. Another 6/10 behind was Andrew Thorpe. On the way up to the Wilton Heppy, he's not really close enough there. If anything, Lee Scott's put a bit of daylight between himself and Ryan Morgan there. But so long as he's in the tow on the Bentley straight, then Brundle and Nelson is a distinct possibility. But I think Lee Scott has seen most things and he'll know what's coming, although You've got to say, Morgan's getting very close to the hatchback of the XR2i, so the two Fords out in front now, Josh.
Yeah, two different shape cars. The lighter XR2, I think, good through the hairpin, and that's what's brought Morgan on to Lee Scott. Scott puts his car in the middle of the road. Morgan to the outside here. Has he got the overlap? He has. He's on the inside for Nelson, but I think he backed out of it. Thought that was a bit risky, but Lee Scott's run off the road. Does he? No, he's back on again, but he's slower off the corner. So Morgan's on the inside here, and I think he's going to go through. They all go either side of the exhaust in the middle of the road. Morgan on the inside. Is he going to hang on? Pip Hammond's trying to buy into this. He's got past Andrew Thorpe. The two leaders are still side by side. They go on to Cora. Pip Hammond could still win this yet, you know.
He could. So is Morgan going to hang on for a dramatic victory here? Lee Scott on the outside line. He's going to have the inside line for the left-hander at Murray's. Smoke from the brakes of, I think, one of them. Ryan Morgan needs to be best. Morgan's all over the glass, but rejoins the circuit, still in front. Pip Hammond might lose third place as well because he's slow out of Murray's and Thorpe has gone through. But it's going to be Ryan Morgan, surely, that's going to do it. Up to the line. The checkered flag is waiting. And they are almost near us, but it's Ryan Morgan that wins. A great victory from the 6th row of the grid on his first meeting in the Demon Tweeks Yokohama Classic Stockhouse Championship to beat no less than Lee Scott, Andrew Thorpe and Pip Hammond. The four of them covered by 3/4 of a second.
Absolutely extraordinary stuff. I hope he wasn't the one getting the track limits warning.
I hope not. I hope there's no penalty to follow. Martin Rogers has come through. He took 5th place. Andrew Tibbs was 6th. Jason Wood 7th. Martin Kayser in 8th place. We'll just wait for the last couple of cars to come across the line. But Ryan Morgan taking the win there. What an absolutely fantastic race that was, and a dramatic final few corners, Josh.
Absolutely. At the beginning of the lap, looked like Lee Scott pulled away a bit, didn't he, out of Ritchie's. But then Morgan absolutely flew through Wildston, and particularly on the exit through Chapman Cove. The marshals giving these four drivers the big thumbs up and a big round of applause, and it's fully deserved. Classic stock hatch usually delivers at Snetterton. It's a different circuit to what we've used for the last few years, but didn't disappoint whatsoever.
Well, it was a good, pretty clean race as well, wasn't it? It was fantastic stuff. Some very experienced, some very new drivers out there as well. They've all put on a brilliant show.
That's what's actually been good to see, because Ryan Morgan, new driver, straight to the front. That's sometimes when it can get a bit dodgy, but he looked as experienced as the others, didn't he? His dad's obviously taught him well.
Yeah, no, that's a great drive from him. Well done. Lewis Wood congratulating him on the YouTube comments feed, so well done to him. Moshi says, wow, what a finish. Alex Hall says, brilliant racing as usual.
His good luck message didn't do Pip much good, did it?
No, don't do that again, Alex. Ed Hall, well done. Ryan Morgan, what a win. So lots of congratulations coming in for Ron, and I think everyone's enjoyed that race as well for what it was, whether you had anyone to support or not. That was just a brilliant motor race.
Yeah, we ended up a bit frustrated at the end of the earlier race. Just as they were all coming together, we had the safety car that ended the race, but that absolutely delivered in the perfect way. I mentioned it yesterday when James Harris took a fantastic victory, that we got a driver of the weekend award, and I think Ryan Morgan's just put himself in contention for that.
We'll add him to the mix for that one. Let's just give you a quick rundown on the results. So number 53, Ryan Morgan it was that took the win from number 1, Lee Scott in 2nd place, just a 1/4 of a second behind. In 3rd place was number 3, Andrew Thorpe. 4th to number 71, Pip Hammond. 5th to number 39, Martin Rogers. 6th, number 28, Andrew Tibbs. 7th, number 41, Jason Wood. 8th, number 88, Martin Kayser. 9th, number 26, Paul Brock. And Derek Rosier, number 77, finished in 10th. Darren Bassingthwaighte, Andy Philpotts, Rick Groom, and Pete Osgerby completed the 14 finishers. So we've got cars heading into the pit lane down there, and ready to speak to the winner is Anthony Jordan.
Well, Ryan Morgan, breathe. You finished it now.
That was some race, that, wasn't it?
It was indeed, was it? From our point of view, I couldn't look away from the screen.
I really enjoyed that. That was real good fun, that.
Oh, well, I mean, talk us through. I mean, you've come from 11th place on the grid. It's an absolutely fantastic run all the way through the race. I mean, talk us through what was going through your head when you saw all the cars just coming through and you could finally see Lee at the front.
I don't really know what I'm doing on the circuits, to be honest with you. Cause I race ovals and that, and this is completely different to me, so I don't know whether I'm doing things the way everyone else would do them, I don't know, but it seems to be working.
Well, whatever you're doing, it seems to be working, yes, definitely so. I mean, yeah, watching it, you just seemed well in control there. Positioning the car, it looked absolutely fantastic going around some of the circuits with the side-by-side action. Of course, with oval racing, I'm sure you're quite used to side-by-side action.
Yeah, well, I like to stick it on the outside on the ovals, so I thought I might as well do it here as well. But the car, in all fairness, it's my dad's car, and it is really, really good. So, you know, it's not just me. The car is absolutely bob on, and yeah, I'm well happy.
Excellent stuff. Chuffed. Well done.
Thank you.